Hello friends, gaining energy from your response. Once again I am here to discuss something more about capacitors. In first class you have seen that a single conductor have limited capacitance, and to have more capacitance we make use of a parallel plate capacitor. Last day we have seen that in case of parallel plate capacitor with air core or vacuum between two plates, capacitance comes out to be equal to A epsilon naught by D. Now thing is whether this capacitance can be further increased or not. The answer is yes, but before going to discuss about the way by which we can increase capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, I would like to make you aware about some facts. First of all, I would like to discuss about dielectric medium. Dear students, just joining class 12 when electrostatics begin, there is a ghost word, dielectric constant, dielectric medium, which appears to be frightening for the students, because before coming to this class you might not have heard the word like dielectric medium or dielectric constant. So today my effort will be to make you comfortable about the concept of dielectric medium. In simple word, we can say that there are two types of medium: conducting and insulating medium. Conducting medium means the medium through which electric current can pass, and that you are aware that all metals are good conductor of electricity, like copper, aluminium, iron, etc. While there are materials through which electric current cannot pass. For example, air, pure water, plastic, dry wood, etc. These are poor conductors or insulators of electricity. All these insulating materials form dielectric medium. That is, through dielectric medium, electric current cannot pass, but it can be helpful to transfer charges from one place to another place. Now, dielectric medium may consist of polar or non-polar molecules. Polar and non-polar molecules. You know that molecules are made up of atoms, and atoms are composed of three fundamental particles: electrons, protons and neutrons. Out of these three fundamental particles, electrons are negatively charged, protons are positively charged, and neutron is electrically neutral, having no electric charge. What does it mean? When a molecule is formed by one or more atoms, it contains negative and positive charges. Now in some molecules it is found that the centers of negative and the centers of positive charges do not coincide with each other, but they remain separated by a very short distance. As all atoms contain equal amount of positive and negative charges, it means in a polar molecule, centers of positive and negative charges are supposed to contain equal and opposite nature of charges separated by a short distance. Now recall the concept that when two equal and opposite charges are separated by a small distance, it forms an electric dipole. Electric dipole means a system of two charges. These two charges are equal in magnitude but are opposite in nature. The distance between two charges, these two charges, is called by the name of dipole length and is oftenly represented by the symbol 2a. Every dipole consists of a vector quantity what is called by the name of dipole moment, and it is given by magnitude of one of the two charges and distance between them. That is, it is the product of charge and distance between the two charge. So this is dipole moment. It is a vector quantity and its direction is always directed from negative to positive charges. So every dipole moment will be associated with a dipole moment. Now come to the polar molecules. The best example of polar molecule is water molecule. In water molecule, you will find in water molecule we have two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. In this molecule, the centers of negative and positive charges do not coincide with each other and hence they form a permanent electric dipole. They represent a permanent electric dipole and hence such molecules are regarded as electric dipoles. Now in any volume of such material, like the material composed of polar molecules, we can say in any volume of water, because water is an example of polar molecule. Why it is polar molecule? Because in H2O, centers of negative and positive charges do not coincide with each other, but they are separated from each other by a very short distance. So every water molecule represents an electric dipole. But in any volume of water, if electric field, external electric field is zero, that is no electric field is applied to the system, this system contains so many water molecules or polar molecules, and you know that every molecules represent a small electric dipole. Just I am showing this electric dipole like this, and you see in this figure that when external electric field is zero, then these dipole moment vectors are not aligned in one dimension. That is, they are randomly oriented. And hence in any volume of such material, the net dipole moment is zero. Here P net in any volume, the volume may be smaller or bigger, but the net dipole moment will be zero, while every molecule represents a permanent electric dipole and they are having non-zero dipole moment. Even then, the sum of all these dipole moments is zero, because of the fact that dipole moment is a vector quantity and these molecules are randomly oriented in the absence of an electric field. This is the case of material having polar molecules. Now what about non-polar molecules? The best example is carbon dioxide. Like water molecule, carbon dioxide has also 3 atoms, but here out of these 3 atoms, 1 is of carbon and 2 is of oxygen. So it is also having number of electrons and protons, that is positive and negative charges. But in this molecule, center of positive and negative charges coincide with each other. They coincide with each other, that is, they fall at the same point. What does it mean? Non-polar molecule does not behave like an electric dipole as it happens in case of polar molecules, because here positive and negative charges are not separated by a distance. So in such case, we are having every molecule with zero dipole moment. The reason is very clear, because they do not form electric dipole. Why they do not form? Because the centers of positive and negative charges coincide with each other. Is that clear? Now you see, this is the case when a medium containing non-polar molecules remain in the absence of an electric field. So these are the pictures of polar and non-polar molecules in the absence of an electric field. Now I am coming to the situation where external electric field exists. Now suppose in case of polar molecules, some electric field is applied from outside, that is, external electric field is not 0 but is greater than 0. In that case, what happens? We find that now the material as a whole have net dipole moment not equal to 0 but greater than 0. How does it happen? Because now all the individual molecular electric dipole which was previously randomly aligned get aligned, which were non-aligned in the absence of electric field, now get aligned in the direction of applied electric field. Now you see the alignment. Every individual molecular dipoles are now aligning in the direction of electric field, and hence the net dipole moment is 0. Now what happens in case of non-polar molecule when it is brought in some external electric field? Here electric field plays two-fold roles. Here external electric field applied is not equal to 0 but greater than 0. Now you see, previously the molecules of molecules in non-polar system were having centers of positive and negative charges coinciding with each other and forming no electric dipole. But now when external electric field is applied, these centers of positive and negative charges gets slightly displaced. That is, now they form electric dipole. Not only that, the dipoles so formed get aligned in the direction of applied electric field. Now you can see these two pictures, that is pictures of polar molecular system and non-polar molecular system. In both the cases, picture looks similar. here P net is not 0 but greater than 0. So these are two types of dielectric medium which in the absence of external electric field shows zero dipole moment. Here also P net is 0, but when it is brought in external electric field, they gain net dipole moment which is greater than 0. One thing more you need to understand. Suppose there is an electric field. In vacuum, this is uniform electric field. Uniform electric field is always represented by equally spaced parallel lines. The arrow to the left, to the right of these lines show the direction of electric field. So this is uniform electric field and its value is E naught. If some dielectric medium is brought in this electric field, now you see this is a dielectric medium. Before applying electric field, what was the case? It is very clear that net dipole moment were 0 because dipole moment vectors were randomly aligned. But when external electric field is applied, every molecular dipoles get aligned in the direction of applied field. So suppose this is electric field applied to this dipole. Here it was vacuum completely, everywhere electric field was E naught. Now what happens when the same electric field is applied to a dielectric? As you have seen that these dipole moments align itself in the direction of applied electric field. Suppose these are dipoles, the first column of dipole, then you take second column of dipole, third column, fourth column, all these dipoles, this is one dipole, second dipole, third dipole, fourth dipole, and so on. There may be a chain of dipoles like that. Here you see that if we look upon the left and right edge of this dielectric medium, what do we find? At the left edge, we find negative charges. These are negative charges, and at the right edge we get positive charges. Now this electric field, suppose, is due to a parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor we have already read in previous class that here plate area is A, charge density is sigma plus sigma, and here another plate having minus sigma as charge density and plate area A. In this case, these two plates having opposite nature of charges give rise to electric field E naught if the space between them remain empty or filled with air. That is, electric field E naught is here sigma by epsilon naught. But when dielectric medium is placed between the plates, what do we find? that due to this column of positive charge and this column of negative charge and inner charges, we suppose they are cancelled by each other, and hence there is no net charge inside the dielectric, that is between these two columns. Due to these two columns of charges, an electric field is induced. This is induced electric field. This induced electric field is due to the charges on the edge of dielectric. Where from the charges came? Very clear that previously there were no charges on the edge at all, because all the dipoles were randomly oriented. But when it was brought in the electric field created by the plates of the capacitor between the capacitor, then what happened? All these electric dipoles got aligned in the direction of applied electric field, and that gave rise to induced charges on the left edge, which is -1, and positive charges at the right edge, which is and the charges at the right edge, which is positive. So these two distribution of charges gave rise to induced electric field EI. Now the direction of this induced field is opposite to the field applied. Field applied is caused by plates of capacitor. So this E0 and EI are opposite to each other. Here this E0 is always greater than EI. Then the net electric field within the dielectric will be E0 minus EI, and you can call it as effective electric field. So obviously this effective electric field decreases from its value in vacuum. It is seen that E0 by E effective for a given dielectric remain always constant. Remain always constant. That is, for any dielectric medium, the ratio of electric field in the vacuum to the effective electric field in that medium maintains a fixed ratio, and that fixed ratio is represented by the symbol K, and it is called by the name of dielectric constant. Now from here you can get an idea that where from this ghost word dielectric constant comes. This dielectric constant is nothing but the ratio of electric field in vacuum to the effective electric field in dielectric medium when such dielectric field is placed in the electric field, say E0. So this is dielectric constant. Previously you might have learnt that this dielectric constant is also known as relative permittivity, where this is permittivity of dielectric medium, and this is permittivity of vacuum, and it is also represented by epsilon r, called relative permittivity. Relative permittivity. This dielectric constant will certainly not have any unit, because this is the ratio of two similar quantity. So this is about dielectric constant, which you oftenly get frightened that where from this strange word came. You see, it is so simple to understand. What I told you in a nutshell, that when an dielectric is placed in an external electric field, an electric field is induced within the dielectric which opposes the applied electric field. This induced electric field is smaller than the applied electric field, hence net electric field within the dielectric is the difference of these two fields, that is applied field E naught and induced field EI, and this difference is the effective electric field. The ratio of electric field in vacuum to the effective electric field in dielectric is a constant, and that is called by the name of dielectric constant, which is having no units and dimension, as it is the ratio of two similar quantities, right? So that is the role of dielectric. Now I am coming to the main topic. Just I told you in previous class that a single conductor may be regarded as a capacitor because it can hold charge, but it has very much limited capacity. To increase its capacity, what do? We form a parallel plate capacitor. A parallel plate capacitor may contain vacuum, air, or any other dielectric medium. What are the differences between them? Air core capacitor has lesser capacity than that filled with dielectric. So now I am going to discuss about the parallel plate capacitor. See, this is a parallel plate capacitor. Here is charge density plus sigma minus sigma, and distance between them is d, and a dielectric medium is placed between the plates whose dielectric constant is K. So from here, the effective electric field between the plates, what is that? That is equal to E naught by K. Just we have seen that E naught by E effective is K, so E effective equal to E naught by K. Now what is E naught? E naught we have already seen, this is sigma by epsilon naught. Therefore, effective potential difference between the plates will be equal to E effective into D, and that is equal to sigma by epsilon naught K into D. Now this is B effective, therefore capacitance of parallel plate capacitor filled with dielectric C will be equal to Q upon V effective. This is sigma A. A is plate area. Therefore, charge on each plate will be sigma into A, density into area, because this is surface charge density, charge per unit area. This is charge per unit area. So on unit area charge is sigma, then on an area A it will be sigma into A, and B effective is sigma D into epsilon naught K. From here we substitute the value of B effective. Therefore C will be equal to A K epsilon naught by D. This is capacitance of parallel plate capacitor with dielectric between the plates of capacitor. We have seen that for air core capacitor, this capacitance comes out to be equal to A epsilon naught by D. So from here, C upon C naught, that is ratio of these two capacitance, comes out to be equal to K. So to find out this K, how many formula you are having? You see K or epsilon R. This is force between two charges in a medium upon force between two charges in vacuum. Force between two charges in vacuum. Then it is epsilon by epsilon naught, and now it is C by C naught. These two ratio comes from Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law. In Coulomb's law, we know that force between two charges Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance R is given by F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. And when it is placed in a medium, what is the change in formula? You just see it. Here we have written epsilon naught, here epsilon. This is permittivity of free space. This is permittivity of medium. What is this permittivity? The meaning is very much clear from its name. Permittivity, that is ability of medium to permit electrical interactions between the two charges. Now you see that in a plane field where there is no trees, bushes or any kind of disturbance, you can run faster. But if the same field consists of dense bushes or trees, you will have difficulty to run through that field. है ना? So in the similar way, the interaction between two charges, when two charges Q1 and Q2 are placed are distant apart in a medium, the force between them also depends on the nature of medium in which it is kept. For example, you see that when charges are placed in water, the force increases 80 times. Now here the role of the force decreases to 80 times. Force decreases to 80 times because here epsilon R for water is 80, and what is this? Epsilon by epsilon naught. है ना? So here you see, if this epsilon is to be replaced, this is R square. Now see in another page, F in medium comes out to be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon R Q1 Q2 by R square. So for Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R square, we can write F naught by FR. If the charges are placed in water, it will be 1 by 80 times of force in vacuum. That is, force decreases, and this decrease is caused by what? That is the medium. So medium plays an important role, and that is why this comes into account. Okay. Now one thing more I would like to tell you. just you have seen that when any medium, whether it is conducting or non-conducting, comes in an external electric field, the material gets net permanent dipole moment. Net dipole moment. But before application of electric field, there is no net dipole moment. It doesn't matter whether the material is composed of polar or non-polar molecule. Now, from very beginning, from class 7 onwards, we come to know that when a plastic comb is rubbed with hair, dry hair, and then it is brought closer to a small bits of paper, the paper gets attracted towards the comb. Since we know that paper is a bad conductor, poor conductor, or insulator of electricity, so it appears very unusual when it is told us first time in class, in any class, that the comb gets electrically charged and then it attracts the bits of paper which is poor conductor of electricity. Actually, that is not the case related to poor conductor or bad conductor. What happens actually, we have already learned today that when comb gets electrically charged, it forms electric field around it. And when this bits of paper comes in that electric field, the molecular dipole is formed within it. Molecular dipole is formed within it, and those dipole then get aligned in the direction of electric field. Suppose electric field is in this direction. So dipole now will be formed like this. This is negative, this is positive. The dipole moment vector is in the direction of electric field because the bits of paper has come in the electric field of comb. Nahin? So now, if here we have positive charges on the teeth of comb, then this negative charge gets attracted towards the comb, and that is the reason why do we observe this phenomenon. Is that clear? After I think once more I should explain, but I will be a bit quicker this time. You see, what I told you, that a single conductor is limited capacity. To enhance this capacity, parallel plate capacitor is formed, but a parallel plate capacitor filled with vacuum or air is having a still lesser capacity. To have more capacity, dielectric medium is filled between them. What happens when dielectric medium comes between the plates? Since between the plates we are having electric field, so due to that external electric field, the dielectric medium having atomic dipoles or molecular dipoles get aligned in the direction of electric field, and hence an extra electric field is induced in the dielectric medium, and that electric field remain opposite to the applied electric field. So net effective electric field is found to be smaller than the applied field. The ratio of these two fields comes out to be a constant and is called by the name of dielectric constant. Right? When a dielectric medium is placed between the plates of capacitors, see what happens to the capacitance. Here we see that E effective is now not equal to sigma by epsilon naught, but it is 1 by k times of the sigma by epsilon naught, that is sigma by epsilon naught k. So V effective will be E effective into D, that is sigma by epsilon naught k into D. Capacitance of parallel plate capacitor filled with dielectric now C is Q by V effective. Q will remain the same. So that is Q is the charge on the plates. And then it finally it comes out to be equal to AK epsilon naught by D. So here the capacitance increases k times compared to that in case of air core capacitor. And then you have understood the reason why any charged object, suppose a glass rod is rubbed with the piece of wool, nahi, suppose this is a glass rod rubbed with wool, you know that glass rod gets positively charged. Now due to this positively charged glass rod, electric field will be always directed away from the glass rod. When bits of paper comes closer to the glass rod, what happens? It comes in the electric field created by the glass rod. Due to this electric field, the dipole within paper is formed and get aligned in the direction of electric field. If it happens, then this negative charge of dipole comes closer to the positive charges of rod, and hence the bits of paper gets attracted. This is the mechanism by which the bits of paper gets attracted. Now very important question I am going to deal, and this question is important in the sense that it is frequently asked in board examination. Suppose a parallel plate capacitor of capacitance C is charged to potential difference B with a battery. If battery is disconnected when capacitor gets fully charged and a dielectric slab of dielectric constant K is inserted between the plate find change in charge stored, potential difference between plates, electric field between plates. Question number 2. Here dielectric slab is inserted in above case when battery remains connected. Find changes in charge, potential difference and electric field. You see, in these two questions, how can we do that? In first case, first of all, the capacitor is charged with a battery of potential V and it is having capacitance C. so it will acquired charge Q equal to C into V. When battery is disconnected and dielectric slab is inserted between the plates, what happens? This charge does not change at all and remains constant. This charge remains constant because where will the charge go? See, this is the matter of common sense that this is parallel plate capacitor and insulating medium has been inserted and it is fully charged or charged to some charge, suppose Q, है ना, and thereafter battery is removed. After removal of battery, the charge which it has already got will remain there, nowhere it will go, so there is no change in the charge stored. What about the potential difference? Let us see. Since after inserting this dielectric, the new capacitance will increase by K times. That is, it will become Kc. Its capacitance will be K into C. Here you see the ratio we have already got that this C will increase K times Kc naught. So previously if it was Kc and after inserting dielectric slab of dielectric constant K, then it will increase to K times, that is Ck. This is the new capacitance. If this is the new capacitance, then B nu will be equal to what? Q nu by C nu. Q nu is nothing but the previous charge because charge does not change, and C nu is K into C, that is Q by C is V original which was gained by the capacitor while charging by K, that is it will reduce by 1 by K times. Now electric field we know that nu will be equal to V nu by D, if D is the distance between the plate. Okay, so now it will be equal to B original by K into D, that is E original by K. 1 by K times electric field will decrease. Now come to this question. Here battery remains connected. In first case battery was disconnected, then dielectric slab was introduced, but here battery remains connected and then dielectric slab is introduced. If dielectric slab is introduced, in this case capacitance will be K times because dielectric slab has been introduced. The thing which will not change is V original. It will remain constant. Why? Because battery is connected, so potential difference across the plate of capacitor will be equal to the potential difference between the terminals of cell. So this B original will remain constant. Now what about charge? This will be C nu into V nu. C nu is Ck and B nu is V original. Now C into V original, what is that? That is Q original when there was no dielectric slab between the plates of capacitor into K, that is charge will increase K times. And there is no change in potential difference. Is that clear? है ना? तो पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस में कोई चेंज नहीं है और चार्ज हमारा जो है क्या हो जाएगा? K times. Okay, thank you very much. Hope that it will help you to understand something more about capacitance. Don't forget to comment about your feeling and also put some question wherever you find it difficult, or if I am unable to make you understand, please let me know so that I may try further to make you understand clearly. Thank you very much.